I am here tonight in my role as a member of the Board of Directors for Anglicare Central Queensland, and my job is to say a very big thank you. The funds raised tonight will be used by Anglicarecq to run youth suicide prevention programs right here in Central Queensland, with a particular focus on the smaller surrounding towns that they service. I am especially passionate about these programs in rural areas because I stand before you tonight as living proof that if the right help is provided for a young person at the right time, then they can and will go on to live their best life. When I was 18 years old, I'd reached a point of not wanting to be alive, and in the depths of depression, tried to take my own life. Several times, in fact. I was at the bottom of the proverbial barrel, and it was a very dark place. I couldn't see where I was, and I couldn't see a way out. I was born and bred in Monto, a small country town in central Queensland with a population of only about 1,500. But when I first became unwell, I was partway through an economics degree at UQ in Brisbane. Every parent's worst nightmare played out when my mum got a phone call one morning from a doctor at the intensive care unit in the Royal Brisbane Hospital to say that I had narrowly survived an attempt to take my own life. So my parents came down to the city, scooped me up and took me home to get better. But getting better in a small town with no mental health services was impossible. Our closest regional centre was 3 hours drive away, and even there at the time, that public mental health system was just not equipped to help me. And there were no non-government agencies with funding to support people in their own community. So sitting at the bottom of that barrel, it felt like I would be there forever. We kept trying though, and kept knocking on doors until we found what we needed. My family made the tough decision to send me back down to Brisbane to access a hospital that provided group therapies and intensive treatment, and that was the real difference maker for me. But it wasn't without sacrifice for my family 600 kilometres away. Once I was accessing the right services, I was starting to see some little slivers of light with each group and therapy session I attended. I was protected from outside stresses while I learned how to climb out, to live again. And bit by bit, the light was becoming brighter and brighter. And gradually I could start to see where I was. I could see how I'd gotten there and what I needed to do to get out. The truth is that no one can do that climb for you, and it's not an easy climb. But fast forward 25 years, and here I am today. I ended up rolling my economics degree into a dual degree with a Bachelor of Social Work, and as soon as I graduated, I headed back to the country, to the rural areas where the supports are so desperately needed, and I've been here ever since. I was just so lucky that I was able to access the services that were right for me. There are hundreds of young people who were not able to travel 600 kilometres, or who couldn't keep trying until they got the right help, and we will never get to hear their story. That's why it's so important that we are raising money to place with non-government services like Anglicare, so that they can provide the types of services that are needed where they are needed, and they can work alongside our public and private mental health services to give people options. The more support available in the rural areas, the greater the chances of getting the right help. According to a report published early last year, the suicide rates for 15 to 24-year-olds is at its highest rate now in 10 years. Between 2010 and 2012, in one remote country town here in central Queensland, 21 young people took their own lives. 21. We have to start doing things differently if we want things to be different, which is what the money raised through tonight's fundraising is going to do. So as someone who has lived beyond the bottom of that barrel, I say thank you. As a mother of 5 children growing up here in central Queensland, I say thank you. And as a representative of Anglicarecq, the agency that will help the young people of central Queensland to live their best life, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you.